name is Alexandra, and today I want to tell you about a former U.S. Navy SEAL, Matt Bissonette, and his 20 colleagues that not only changed the entire aspect of the War on Terror, but also were a part of history last May when they raided Osama bin Laden's compound in Abbottabad, Pakistan. He was supposed to be living there with his two right-hand men, the Al-Kuwaiti brothers. So first I'm going to tell you what happened the night of the raid, and then I'm going to tell you a little bit about Matt Bissonette's book that was just released. It's called No Easy Day. It was published in September of 2012, and he's received a lot of criticism over it, so I'm going to explain why and tell you what really happened. After months of basically following what they called the PACER, which is their nickname for Osama bin Laden, military intelligence decided to put together a team of Navy SEALs, but not just any Navy SEALs. They wanted the most experienced and the most trained to go in because they didn't want anything to go wrong. They wanted all of their bases covered. So after weeks of planning and studying this model that the military intelligence had actually built of the compound, they memorized the outlay of it from the outside because they didn't have anything on the inside that they could go off of. So after weeks of planning that, the raid actually took place on May 2nd, 2011. And after a helicopter crash and an unstrategic landing of the other helicopter, the soldiers were finally implanted inside the walls of the compound, but outside the doors of the actual buildings. So Matt Bissonette and his team were supposed to clear what they called C1, which is the building where Al-Kuwaiti and his other brother were supposed to be living. So before they could even get through the door, they were trying to charge the door with the explosive. And before they could get through the door, they were being shot at through the door by one of the brothers, so, which delayed them even further after the helicopter crash. So by the time that they got into the compound, they were actually really behind, and they had approximately 40 minutes to carry out this entire mission before they had to get out of Abbottabad, Pakistan. So when they came in, they were finally able to take charge of the Al-Kuwaiti brothers. They actually killed both of them and took their families to a safer area of the compound so that they wouldn't get hurt. After that, Matt Bissonette and his team moved to the main building where Osama bin Laden was supposed to be living, and they helped the other SEAL team, enter the building and clear the first floor. Well, Matt Bissonette and his team decided to go up the stairs to try and clear the second floor. When they did this, the point man of their team saw a man poking his head around the door and immediately fired because he knew that if he gave the man any shot at all, his entire team could be killed within a matter of seconds. Well, after scrutinizing the body, taking pictures, and interrogating the women and children in the room with the interpreter, trying to figure out who they were and who it was, because they wanted to be absolutely sure this was him. After interrogating them and asking them several questions, they finally found out that the man that they did kill was Osama bin Laden. I found out about this raid, just like a lot of other Americans, by watching an impromptu speech given by President Obama the night of the raid, when things started coming onto the news feed. So now, a year later, this story is back in the media because Matt Bissonette, under the pseudonym of Mark Owen, published a book called No Easy Day in September. And the Defense Department, actually according to the September 27th issue of Washington Post, the Defense Department was really displeased with his book because they think that he revealed too much information, not only about the raid itself, but about the way that the Navy SEALs are trained, because the book also goes into detail about his training as a Navy SEAL before he was picked for this team. So even though and in the book, in his epilogue, he actually, he knew that he would get a lot of criticism for it, and in his book he explained that the reason he was writing the book wasn't to give away secrets or to put his fellow servicemen in harm. He wanted to tell the real story of what happened that night because he saw how much was flooding the media and knew that most of it was wrong. So he wanted to tell the true story and give the credit to the people that really deserved it without harming them and their families. So after reading the book, I understood what happened the night of the raid, but I also understood his reasoning for writing the book, and I no longer completely criticized him for writing it. I think that despite the fact that they believe he gave away too much information, he's still an American hero, just like all of our servicemen that serve today. And I just urge everyone that the next time you see a soldier to say thank you for all that you do.